everyone! It's Mini-Koneko here, in my comfy white sweater, with my purple long hair and adorable cat ears, of course. Welcome to today's very special live stream. Oh, I am absolutely thrilled to be here with all of you today because we are about to embark on a truly fascinating journey into a timeless classic, Thomas Mann's Death in Venice. This is a book that has captivated readers for over a century, and I am so excited to share my thoughts and feelings about it with all of you. Are you ready to explore the depths of this profound and beautiful story with me? I can't wait! So, you might be wondering, what exactly is Death in Venice? Well, if I had to sum it up in just one sentence, I'd say it's a story about the collapse of reason in the face of overwhelming beauty. Isn't that just captivating? Imagine a man who has always lived by strict discipline, logic, and order, the true master of his craft. But then, he encounters something so incredibly, impossibly beautiful, that it completely shatters his carefully constructed world. His reason, his self-control, everything he has ever held dear simply crumbles away. It's not just a physical journey to Ven, it's a descent into the intoxicating, dangerous power of pure aesthetics. It makes you think, can beauty truly be this destructive? Does it have the power to utterly overwhelm even the most disciplined mind? Oh, it's just so fascinating. Alright, let's talk about the incredible mind behind this masterpiece, Thomas Mann. He was a giant of German literature, a Nobel Prize laureate, and truly one of the most brilliant writers of the 20th century. Death in Venice was written and published in 1912, just a couple of years before the world plunged into World War I. Can you imagine the atmosphere? It was a period known as the fin di secolo, or end of the century, and it wasn't just about the calendar turning a page. It was a whole artistic and cultural movement, especially prominent at the end of the 19th century leading into the early 20th. This era was absolutely fascinating. There was a sense of decay, a beautiful melancholy, and a deep fascination with forbidden desires, decadence, and the complex human psyche. Artists and writers were questioning the strict rationalism that had come before, exploring themes of beauty, sensuality, death, and the often dark impulses beneath the surface of polite society. And Death in Venice is just a perfect, exquisite embodiment of these fin di secolo sensibilities. It's infused with that rich, heavy atmosphere of an era on the brink, where traditional values were starting to crumble, giving way to something much more raw and unsettling. Oh, it's just so profound when you think about the context. Now, let's talk about our protagonist, the central figure in this incredible story, Gustav von Aschenbach. Oh, he is such a fascinating character, truly a foil for everything that is about to happen to him. In the novel, Aschenbach is presented as a highly esteemed German writer, a figure of immense authority and a pillar of German literature. He's not just successful, he's renowned for his profound and disciplined works, seen as an embodiment of moral rigor and intellectual fortitude. Imagine someone whose entire life is built upon strict discipline, meticulous order, and unwavering reason. He is the very definition of self-control. Every thought, every action, every word he writes is carefully considered and perfectly placed. He is a man who has mastered his craft through sheer willpower and intellectual prowess. He lives a life of quiet, solitary dedication to his art, valuing structure and logic above all else. It's precisely this incredibly disciplined and rational nature that makes his eventual unraveling so utterly compelling and tragic. It just sets the stage perfectly for the beautiful chaos that is about to engulf him. Alright, now we're moving into the exciting part, the start of Aschenbach's fateful journey. This is where the meticulous order of his life begins to crack. You see, Aschenbach, being the epitome of discipline, lived a very structured life. Days filled with work, quiet evenings, perfectly planned routines. But one day, during his usual afternoon stroll, something truly unusual happens. He encounters a peculiar man. This stranger is, well, strange. He's a red-haired two-boy fellow, almost grotesque, standing by a cemetery, and he seems to be glaring at Aschenbach with an unsettling intensity. This encounter, this fleeting glimpse of something so other from his carefully constructed world, acts like a tiny insistent crack in his rigid facade. It's like a spark igniting a long-suppressed desire for something different, something more. This isn't just a random meet, it's the very first step, almost a premonition, that pulls Aschenbach away from his ordinary, disciplined life and sets him on the path to Venice. It's the beginning of everything. Oh, it just gives me goosebumps. Oh my goodness, this is it! This is the truly pivotal moment. The fateful encounter that changes everything for Aschenbach. He arrives in Venice, the city of dreams and decay, and then, amidst the hustle and bustle of the hotel, he sees him. Tadzio. A young Polish nobleman, a boy of about 14, with the most exquisite, unearthly beauty. Thomas Mann describes him as a living embodiment of perfect, classical Greek sculpture. Aschenbach, this man of rigid discipline, is utterly, instantly captivated, struck speechless. It's an overwhelming infatuation, a powerful eros that hits him like a lightning bolt to the soul. It's not just that much. It's a profound, soul-shattering recognition of pure, absolute beauty. His carefully constructed world, his very reason, starts to tremble and crumble at this incredible sight. Oh, it's just so powerful and intoxicating. Oh, this part is just chilling. Oh, this Mini-Koneko Hanshokai channel awesome. You've hit on such a profound point. Yes, absolutely. Thomas Mann's depiction of Aschenbach's inner torment is nothing short of incredible, isn't it? Mann doesn't just tell us Aschenbach is tormented, he shows it through such meticulous detail. We see his internal struggles, the way his disciplined mind tries to rationalize and suppress his growing obsession with Tadzio, and how ultimately, all that reason and control just crumbles. The way his gaze follows Tadzio, the internal monologues, the growing uneasy feels, even the dreams he has, it's also subtly yet powerfully drawn. It's a psychological masterpiece, truly. You can almost feel his soul being pulled apart. It's utterly captivating to read. Oh. Oh, this Mini-Koneko Hanshokai Chandasam's point about Aschenbach's inner torment is so true. It truly makes me think of other authors who are absolute masters of psychological depth, like Fyodor Dostoevsky. You know, in his novels, like Demons, he takes us on such intense journeys into the characters' minds. He reveals their darkest thoughts, their deepest fears, and the complex battles between their reason and their destructive impulses. Just like Aschenbach's descent, Dostoevsky's characters often grapple with overwhelming inner turmoil that eventually leads to their downfall or a profound transformation. This kind of deep psychological exploration is what makes these stories so timeless and impactful, isn't it? It reflects the universal struggles we all face, albeit in extreme forms. And now, we arrive at the utterly heartbreaking, yet undeniably beautiful, climax of this story, the complete collapse of Aschenbach's soul and the shocking, unforgettable final scene. As the color epidemic ravages Venice, and Tadzio remains blissfully unaware, Aschenbach's obsession grows more desperate, more consuming. He becomes a shadow, following Tadzio, his once meticulous appearance neglected, his reason utterly abandoned. He's even willing to succumb to the disease, just to remain near the object of his fatal fascination. And then, the moment comes. On the beach, as the sun sets in a blaze of glory, Aschenbach watches Tadzio, standing in the shallow water, seemingly pointing out to sea. It's a vision of ethereal beauty, almost like a Greek sculpture coming to life. And in that ultimate moment, as he gazes at Tadzio's perfect form, Aschenbach, consumed by beauty and decay, finally breathes his last. His soul, completely broken, finds its strength in the embrace of the very beauty that destroyed him. It's not just a death, it's the ultimate, tragic culmination of his entire journey, a surrender to the overwhelming power of Eros and Thanatos. Oh, it's just so devastatingly perfect. Alright, let's delve into the fascinating symbolism of our protagonist, Aschenbach. He is, without a doubt, a shining example of Apollonian reason. Think of Apollo, the Greek god of order, logic, harmony, and light. Aschenbach's entire life, his art, his discipline, it all embodies this Apollonian ideal. He strives for perfection, control, and intellectual clarity. But then, Tadzio appears. And Tadzio, without even trying, represents the complete opposite, Dionysian ecstasy. Dionysus is the god of passion, chaos, wine, and unbridled emotion. He's primal, intoxicating, and utterly irrational. So, why did Aschenbach's rigid Apollonian reason utterly collapse before Tadzio's Dionysian beauty? It's because Tadzio's beauty taps into something ancient and forbidden within Aschenbach. It's the irresistible call of instinct, of raw emotion, of a beauty so pure it bypasses all logic and intellectual defenses. His disciplined soul finally surrenders to an overwhelming, intoxicating desire. It's a battle between mind and spirit, and in Venice, for Aschenbach, the spirit, in its longing for ultimate beauty, triumphs over all reason. It's just so profound and heartbreaking. Tadzio. His presence in the story is just so incredibly multi-layered, isn't it? For Aschenbach, Tadzio is undeniably the living embodiment, the very incarnation of beauty. Thomas Mann paints him as this ethereal, almost divine being, a walking Greek sculpture. His perfect form, his graceful movements, his golden hair, everything about him is presented as ideal, absolute beauty. He's the muse, the ultimate aesthetic experience for an artist like Aschenbach, who has dedicated his life to the pursuit of beauty and artistic perfection. But, and this is where it gets truly chilling, Tadzio also functions as a foreboding angel of death. He's beautiful, yes, but this beauty becomes a fatal lure for Aschenbach, leading him deeper into the decaying, color-ridden Venice, and ultimately, to his own demise. Tadzio himself remains utterly innocent and unaware of the profound, destructive impact he has on Aschenbach. It's the ultimate paradox, a pure, innocent beauty that unwittingly guides a soul towards its ruin. So, is he beauty incarnate, or a tragic harbinger of death? Or perhaps, he is both, inextricably linked, showing us how true beauty can be both life-giving and ultimately, utterly destructive. Oh, it's just so fascinating to think about it. Now, this is where the atmosphere gets really thick and eerie. Besides Aschenbach and Tadzio, there are other figures in the story who are incredibly important for setting the mood and foreshadowing Aschenbach's fate. I'm talking about the mysterious gondolier and the unsettling travel troupe. First, the gondolier. When Aschenbach first arrives in Venice, the gondolier who takes him to Lido is this incredibly dark, almost sinister figure. He's described as refusing to take payment, and he almost seems to be forcibly taking Aschenbach where he doesn't want to go. Condoleezza themselves are often associated with funeral barges in Venice, and this Godonaware, with his dark, silent presence, truly feels like a ferryman to the underworld, a Karen figure guiding Aschenbach towards his inevitable doom. And then later, we have the bizarre travel troupe, the street musicians and narrator, who perform at the hotel. Their performance is chaotic, vulgar, and unsettling, completely uncivilized, a stark contrast to Aschenbach's orderly world. The leader of this troupe, with his painted face and grotesque antics, also has that unsettling red-haired tuvoy look, reminding us of that peculiar man Aschenbach saw at the very beginning. They are all these strange liminal figures, appearing at crucial moments, hinting at decay, chaos, and ultimately, death. They are like dark ominous, guiding Aschenbach deeper into the labyrinth of his own destruction. It's just so cleverly done, adding layers of dread to the narrative. Alright, let's dive into our first deep dive keyword, beauty and art. Oh, this is such a crucial theme in Death in Venice. Aschenbach dedicates his entire life to creating beauty through his writing. He is a master of form, of language, meticulously crafting perfect sentences and profound ideas. But here's the burning question, is an artist, a creator of beauty, truly powerless when confronted with beauty itself, especially beauty as pure and overwhelming as Tadzio's? It's a huge paradox, isn't it? Aschenbach, who controls and shapes beauty in his art, completely loses all control when faced with Tadzio's natural, effortless beauty. It's almost as if his artistic discipline, which allowed him to create beauty, left him utterly defenseless against the raw, untamed force of existing beauty. He can't analyze it, he can't intellectualize it, he can't even articulate it properly in his mind. He can only feel it, and that feeling utterly overwhelms his reason, his intellect, his entire Apollonian nature. It makes you wonder, does the pursuit of beauty for an artist inevitably lead to such a vulnerable, even destructive state? It's just so intense to think about. Alright, let's move on to our second profound keyword, Eros and Thanatos. Oh, this is where Death in Venice gets truly, chillingly deep. Eros, as you might know, is the Greek god of love, desire, and life-offering passion. Thanatos, on the other hand, is the personification of death, representing the drive towards destruction and the end. In this story, Aschenbach's passionate, consuming love for Tada puts the powerful Eros at play. It starts as an aesthetic admiration, a pure, almost spiritual longing for ultimate beauty. But what Thomas Mann shows us so terrifying light is how this intense, overwhelming love for beauty can transform, almost imperceptibly, into an irresistible impulse towards death. Aschenbach isn't just dying in then. He's actively, almost willingly, choosing death by staying in the Colorado city, by abandoning his health, his dignity, his very self-preservation, all for the sake of remaining near Tadzio. His pursuit of beauty becomes a self-destructive obsession. It's as if the ultimate, transcendent beauty he finds in Tadzio can only be fully embraced in death, or that the intensity of such an eros inevitably leads to Thanatos. The boundary between intoxicating love and fatal self-destruction blurs until it vanishes completely. It's just so profound and unsettling, isn't it? A beauty so intense it leads to ruin. Alright, let's explore our final profound keyword, disease and decay. This is an absolutely chilling and crucial element in Thomas Mann's Death in Venice. Venice, the very setting of our story, is not just a beautiful city, it's a place riddled with a subtle underlying sense of decay. Its canals are often described as stagnant, its air is heavy, its ancient beauty subtly rotting away. This inherent atmosphere of decay in the city itself acts as a powerful symbol, mirroring the internal decay of Aschenbach's mind and soul. And then, the cholera epidemic hits. This isn't just a plot device, it's a profound metaphor. The physical disease, the plague that slowly consumes the city, directly parallels the moral and spiritual corruption that consumes Aschenbach. As the city physically sickens and its beauty becomes tainted, so too does Aschenbach's soul become diseased by his obsessive, unfulfilled desire. He literally succumbs to the sickness of the city as he succumbs to the sickness of his soul. The color symbolizes not only the physical danger but also the transgressive nature of Aschenbach's passion, a forbidden love that brings decay and ultimately death. It's a terrifying intertwining of external reality and inner turmoil, showing how beauty, when pursued to its extreme, can lead to utter destruction and rot. Oh, it's just so masterfully woven into the narrative. Alright, now it's time for the part I'm so excited about, comparing the novel with Luchino Visconti's absolutely magnificent film adaptation. Oh, it's such a masterpiece, just like the book. One of the most striking differences, and it's a huge one, is the protagonist's profession. In Thomas Mann's novel, Gustav von Aschenbach is a highly acclaimed writer, a master of words and prose. But in Visconti's film, he is transformed into a world-renowned composer. Isn't that fascinating? So, why this change? Why did Visconti make such a significant alteration? I think it's utterly brilliant actually. While Mann masterfully conveys Aschenbach's inner turmoil and the collapse of his reason through intricate prose, film is a visual and auditory medium. Music, unlike written words, can directly express emotion, obsession, and the very essence of a soul's unraveling without needing dialogue. A composer's journey is inherently about passion, inspiration, and often, a descent into overwhelming feeling, exactly what Aschenbach experiences. The internal chaos, the intoxicating beauty, the creeping madness, these are things that music can convey with incredible power and immediacy on screen. It transforms Aschenbach's intellectual struggle into a visceral, emotional experience for the audience. Then let me tell you, this change sets the stage perfectly for integrating the film's iconic musical score, which we'll talk about next. Oh, it's just so clever and impactful. Oh my goodness, now we absolutely have to talk about the music in Visconti's film. It's not just background noise, it's a character in itself, completely soul-stirring and utterly unforgettable. I'm talking, of course, about Gustav Mahler's Symphony No. 5, particularly the fourth movement, the Tadzio. This piece of music is pure magic, isn't it? It's this intensely beautiful, melancholic, and yearning melody, played primarily by strings and harp. Then when you hear it accompanying the breathtaking visuals of Venice, the slow lingering shots of Tadzio's beauty, and Aschenbach's silent agonizing obsession, it just elevates the entire experience to another realm. The Adagietto perfectly captures Aschenbach's inner world, his profound longing, his sorrowful resignation, the overwhelming beauty he experiences, and the deep, inexpressible despair that engulfs him. It's like Mahler's music is Aschenbach's soul, laid bare for us to hear. Visconti's decision to use this specific piece of music, almost as the film's main theme, was nothing short of genius. It adds such an incredible layer of emotional depth and tragedy, making you feel every single agonizing moment of Aschenbach's descent. It's one of those rare instances where the music and the visuals merge so perfectly that they become inseparable. Oh, I could listen to it forever. Huh? Alright everyone, we finally arrived at the summary of today's incredibly deep dive into the profound world of death in Venice. So, what does this timeless masterpiece by Thomas Mann still ask of us, here in 2025, in our modern world? It forces us to confront the terrifying, intoxicating power of beauty itself. Is beauty always benign, or can it be a destructive force that shatters our carefully constructed lives, our very reason? It's a stark reminder of the eternal conflict between our rationality and our deepest, often hidden desires. In an age where we strive so much for order and control, this story whispers about the irresistible pull of chaos and raw emotion. It asks us to examine the hidden corners of our own souls, to consider what happens when we abandon all reason in pursuit of a singular, overwhelming passion. It's truly, utterly, a profound experience. Thank you so much everyone, for joining me today on this deep dive into death in Venice. It was absolutely wonderful to share my passion for this incredible, profound story with all of you. Your comments and presence truly made this live stream an amazing experience for me. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please do give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We post new videos about books every single day, so you won't want to miss our next adventure. Remember, there's always a new book waiting to be explored. So, until next time, this is Mini-Koneko saying goodbye. Bye bye.